is often described to us as just being bureaucratic and at best facilitating innovation that actually happens in the business community. The first thing we have to recognize is that there's huge interests involved in portraying government in that way. So it will be very hard. It'll be a battle. And the interests I'm talking about are that if you have some agents who describe themselves as the sole risk takers and innovators, and government not being part of that process, then there's a much greater, if you want, opportunity for these actors to lobby for taxes, for example, to fall. Capital gains tax, in fact, fell by 50%, lobbied for by the National Venture Capital Association. So in order to change this narrative, we have to recognize it'll be a fight, a fight against massive financial interests, but it's possible. It's historically possible. We just have to look back at history and see the role that government played in places like Silicon Valley, where it wasn't just a bureaucrat, it was actually one of the lead innovators, and it later played a pretty functional relationship with the business community, but because we didn't have a way to talk about it, we only ended up socializing the risks and not the rewards. So if you look at places like Silicon Valley, where the iPhone was invented, what the government did was actually fund all the technologies that make that phone smart. So the internet, GPS, touchscreen, Siri were absolutely fundamental for people like Steve Jobs then to think really creatively, innovatively. He was a genius, and his whole team, to put these existing technologies that they found as a present by government together in really cool ways. And so this is one of the issues. How can we actually allow the private sector to, on the one hand, surf on this massive wave of government-funded technology, but also at the same time recognize that wave so they don't defund that wave in the future, which requires building public-private partnerships that are much more mutualistic and symbiotic and less parasitic than the ones we have today.